Today, from Las Vegas, Nevada, it's the AFC-NFC Pro Bowl.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. It is always exciting to see the very best the NFL has to offer all in one place. And we have that here this afternoon as we welcome you to Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Get ready to settle in for an entertaining 4 quarters. The AFC-NFC Pro Bowl underway from Las Vegas. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So out comes the NFC for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the reigning MVP of the National Football League, now in his 17th season out of Cal. It's Aaron Rodgers.
I remember watching him in college and seeing a guy that you knew had great potential, but I don't know that anyone knew that we would see how he would blossom as an NFL player who will go down as one of the all-time great quarterbacks. Can make every throw from every angle with terrific mobility, and he knows how to win games, always in contention for a championship.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. Back deep here, Andre Roberts. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. So here comes the AFC for their opening drive. They're led by the NFL's MVP in 2018 and also MVP of Super Bowl 54 in his 5th season. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. Got a man open, it's Darren Waller. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Derrick Henry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Chubb will get the call running left. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
A first down carry for Henry. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Orlando Brown, the former Raven, the guilty party. Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. After the penalty, it's Henry. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now Mahomes. Caught by Allen. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. We're scoreless after one. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. So now we'll get our second look in this game at the NFC offense. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
So they tried the 59-yarder and missed it, and now this offense starts just 1 yard shy of midfield. They start the drive with Cook, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to the huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2nd and 6. Now it's Rodgers. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
To throw is Rodgers. This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Now Rodgers. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Cameron Hayward attacking off the edge that time.
On any 1st and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Handoff comes to Cook, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Field goal coming from Younghoe Koo. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And the NFC out to an early 3-0 lead.
Well, no surprise there. Extremely reliable during the regular season. Bailed his team out time and again. Knocks another one through, this time in the Pro Bowl.
Koo just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. Here's the all-pro returner from 28. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's scooped up by the NFC. And this results in 6. Touchdown. Evan Ingram. Excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run. And the NFC able to widen their advantage. But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
Extra point forthcoming. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kicks away following that fumble return. This taken in at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So now the AFC offense here coming back out for their second drive. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
They'll try the right side with Henry. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Now he dumps this off over the middle. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Mahomes going to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
The AFC punt team out there now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. The offense for the NFC back out there. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Working with 2nd and 5 now. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cook. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Rodgers now to throw. That's complete to DK Metcalf. Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Second and 10. Rodgers again now. And his throw here's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. So we have come upon halftime of this Pro Bowl with the NFC on top of the AFC. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Cope. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. The AFC going to get the ball first as we are back underway on EA Sports. Andre Roberts now to return it. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The AFC offense now set to start this 3rd quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. He'll start with a give to Henry. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Running left, it's Henry. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mahomes going deep for Diggs. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
Now the NFC heading out for their first drive of the 2nd half.
And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here of the 2nd half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Cook running right. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Rodgers. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. The sack there by Bradley Chubb.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And the NFC punt team out there now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement. And off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. They begin with Henry. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. On the return, it's Kamara. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They run it again with Cook. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. And they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now a give running right, it's Cook. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Cook. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. There to stop him was Darius Leonard. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. And he will carry this one in. Touchdown, NFC. Dalvin Cook, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the NFC adds on to their lead. Great play, but admittedly, the tackling in the Pro Bowl, Charles, not always the best.
I would say that they're not quite as committed to getting a guy on the ground in the Pro Bowl as maybe during the regular season and, of course, in the playoffs. But still, heck of an individual effort there on that run.
Koo now for the point after. And that one makes this a 19-point game. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. touchdown. Here's Koo to kick off. Roberts on the return. And he returns this to the 22. The AFC offense making their way back out. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place, but in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the fourth quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play, which means someone will have a play made against them and not have to live with that for the rest of the year.
Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Well, the NFC pressure a little too much as they get home for the sack. Fletcher Cox able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
Second and 14. Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
The AFC thus far on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Mahomes.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Mahomes got to have this one. Trying to find his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Back to the 32-yard line.
Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he could do there, and he winds up giving the ball away.
The NFC offense heading back onto the field. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Cook. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The numbers for the NFC on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now we have Kelsey, slow to get back to his feet. Appears to be shaken up.
We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Here's Rodgers. He'll find Metcalf. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's the NFC with the football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Rodgers going to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Field goal coming from Younghoe Koo.
And his kick is good. And that one ups the lead to 22-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Koo just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off.
Roberts now on the return. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The AFC about ready to take over on offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Mahomes now on first down. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Mahomes now to throw. And Diggs has it. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Throwing is Mahomes on third. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by James Bradbury. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So, Charles, a victory for the NFC. Final thoughts on this Pro Bowl?
We had some fun, didn't we?
Absolutely.
A lot of excitement, some big plays to watch, a lot of those great matchups that we don't get to see during the